Hello folks, this is Aitan Ajha from InspiredToRise.com and today we are going to talk about the GeForce GTX 1660. The particular model that we have is the one by Gigabyte. It's the GeForce. It has a very long designation, so it is a GeForce GTX 1660 Gaming OC 6G edition. Today we are going to do an unboxing of the same, and we are also going to tell you about this card's performance, how well does it play on all of the latest AAA titles, what's its benchmark performance, how does it compare against a lot of other cards out there, and is it a worthy buy or not. So guys, let's first start with an unboxing for the same. This is the official box for the GeForce GTX 1660, and inside the box you get the documentation for this graphic card, and you also get the CD driver for this one. What I really don't like is the fact that this is 2019 right now and these guys still come out with drivers on optical drives. The last time I saw somebody running an optical drive and using a CD was 3 years ago, and right now it's a time for them to use either flash drives or QR codes with the links to download the appropriate drivers. I think that would be really appreciated from people like us and most of the normal consumers also. And now let's move forward to what else do you get inside the box. Inside the box you get this graphic card. The Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1660 Gaming OC 6G comes with a lot of options. If you look at the back, it comes with a almost metallic looking plate which is kind of plasticky, kind of metallic, and if you look at the other things, at the front you get the WindForce design with 3 fans. The middle fan has the alternate spin, and if we talk about the ports, it comes with 3 display ports and 1 HDMI port. And overall it's a nice card, not really heavy, it's pretty lightweight. And if you look on the inside, there's the copper piping which looks really cool in my personal opinion, and the cooling on this specific version of the GTX 1660 is really good. This I personally found when testing a lot of games and while running benchmarks. So now if we delve deeper into the card, this specific card comes with 6 GB of GDDR5 video RAM and 1408 CUDA cores, and this specific variant comes with a clock speed of up to 1830 megahertz, which is really high. And if we talk about just normal conventional performance, the performance is 35% faster than a GTX 1060 3GB at 1080p gaming and almost around 130% faster than a GTX 960. These are the official words by Nvidia themselves, but we tried to test this card for ourselves and test how its performance in almost all of the latest games and the benchmarks. So you can take a closer look at all of the benchmark scores. We ran Geekbench for this one, we also ran Cinebench for this one, and we also tried to test it on few other parameters. And you can also look at this card's performance in latest games. So the games that we tested on this specific card were Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Grand Theft Auto 5, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and Fortnite, which are all our favorite games. The GTX 1660 comes with support for adaptive shading technology, which improves its performance in latest supported titles. It supports G-Sync compatible monitors, and it has NVENC technology for single PC broadcasting. A lot of these features are really cool, and this features same Turing architecture which was used on the GTX 1660 Ti, which means that it has got a better architecture on the inside when compared to a lot of other offerings from a lot of other players. And now if we talk about the comparative performance, the GTX 1660 performs better than something like a RX 590, and which is certainly priced higher. And if you talk about few other things, if you are a streamer, you would get nice bitrate savings compared to H.264 or HEVC using the NVENC coder by Nvidia, and that's also something which is really good. Now let's talk about our test bench. Our test bench was sponsored courtesy Voltage PC. They are in Nehru Place. They provide really good PCs and also nice customer support after you buy a PC from them. So check those guys out, link is in the description below. And now if we talk about our test bench, it was a Core i7-7700K which was properly liquid cooled, and we had 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM on this one, a gigabyte motherboard which was pretty good, and we also had a Samsung SSD in order to not have any bottlenecks while playing games. And now let's talk about how our performance was. So for this specific testing, we used a 2K monitor, which is a 144Hz monitor by Asus, but we overclocked it all the way up to 165Hz because ज़्यादा है तो बेहतर है, more is better. in many cases. So let's talk about the gameplay and FPS. We firstly played Counter-Strike Global Offensive on 2K resolution with everything maxed out and easily got 100 plus FPS. You can look at the FPS at the top right corner, and needless to say, this specific card can run a lot of games in 2K resolution at around 60 to 80 FPS. If you are gonna play at 1080p, you would easily get 90 to 110 FPS in a lot of AAA titles. And if you're somebody who's gonna try to play in 4K with this specific card, you would get a performance which is okay. You would get some massive drops in frame rates sometimes, but a lot of other times it would run just fine with 4K medium settings. But I won't suggest it for 4K gaming. For 2K gaming or 1080p gaming, this is perfectly fine entry level card. You can look at the FPS for Fortnite, and we also played Players Unknown Battlegrounds on maximum possible setting. We played Fortnite on 1080p in order to test how would the experience would be on 1080p. We also played it on 4K resolution because somehow the game was allowing us to push it to 4K resolution, and then we saw some massive frame rate drops from around 20 to 65 FPS, and it was not really much of a playable experience with the 4K 3D resolution. But then we tried on 2K resolution and 1080p and it was working perfectly. Now the Gigabyte model that we tested has a 1830 MHz factory overclock, while the reference GPU comes with a 1785 MHz boost clock. And then there are the triple Windforce design, a better heatsink which you won't find on any entry level graphics card, and that makes it a certainly better choice for a lot of other gamers. This card comes with 88 texture units, 48 ROP units, 6GB GDDR5 video memory, 8 Gbps memory speed, 192-bit memory bus, has a 8-pin power connector and a total power draw of 120 watts. It does not come with RT ray tracing cores or tensor cores, and if we compare the memory, it's just a GDDR5 memory, not latest GDDR6 memory, but it compensates for all of those things by a higher boost clock and few other performance benefits here and there, and that makes it a very compelling choice for those people who are on the lookout for a GPU like this one. It is priced around 21,000 to 22,000 for the reference design. I think this particular variant with the RGB Gigabyte logo might be around 23 to 24,000. The final pricing is not out yet, but I guess for the price of around 21 to 23,000, this card packs in a lot of power for a lot of gamers. And I believe that if you're somebody who's in the market for a nice entry level gaming rig, you might want to look at this card until and unless Team Red comes out with their latest architecture based cards, which might be even better with a low pricing in the near future. Till then, I guess this is one of your best bets towards entry level 2K gaming or really nice 1080p ultra gaming along with streaming. So guys, this was it for this video. In case you like this one, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, to subscribe to Inspire to Rise for more awesome tech videos like this one. There's a bell icon down there, small bell icon down there. Don't forget to hit it. And guys, no matter what you do, stay inspired to rise.